I've been noticing lately that I've been buying clothes that I wouldn't usually wear, but that are a bit more formal and grown up, such as pants that aren't jeans and actual shoes instead of tennis shoes. Nobody's forcing me to buy them, but if anyone asked me, would you want to wear that or a t-shirt and jeans? I'd say t-shirt and jeans 10 out of 10 times. However, I do enjoy the feeling of looking good even if I'm not totally comfortable. Then, of course, the issue of finding a partner comes in. In general, women like a guy who dresses well, people in general like someone who dresses well. So that's also something to consider. In your day-to-day life and in your own mind, how do you balance what you really want to look like versus what is considered to be the most appropriate way to look? Everyone would like to say they just wear whatever and don't care, but we all know that's not true and sometimes not possible for about 90% of people. I went out to eat and this blew up my inbox. I honestly wish I could read and reply to every comment, but I just can't. Your contribution is much appreciated though. I kind of feel like I should address where this whole question comes from so people can understand why I asked. When I was in college, both of my friends, only 3 guys in the class, would wear clothes considered better or more expensive. I would be called alternative by girls in the class even though I was anything but that, and I always felt people took them more seriously than me. Fast forward to my first relationship, and she would always comment on how hot I looked when wearing button-down shirts and pants that weren't jeans, which I'm not very fond of, but never when I wore anything else. So I kinda internalized those clothes as hot. And recently I thought it was time for me to start making some physical changes, also known as working out, and, since I now make a little bit of money, upgrade my wardrobe as I make those changes. But I can't tell if I'm doing it because I want to or if I've been conditioned by my past. Story 1. Where do you live that jeans and t-shirts are not okay for adults? The standard adult wear near me, certainly in casual situations. You wouldn't wear them for a formal job, but they are fine for casual work like mine. As long as they are clean, have no holes, and fit well, there is no issue with them. Story 2. I'm already a little person or dwarf, so meeting conventional standards is already an uphill battle for me. It's hard for me to find any clothes that fit, let alone adult clothes. A lot of my wardrobe consists of clothes with an I don't care mentality, which literally just do the job of preventing me from being nude. But it doesn't make me feel good. When I finally got adult clothes tailored for me, I felt amazing. I felt like I was able to express myself and my taste in a way that was flattering. I'm sure there's a societal element that made me feel that pressure. I remember feeling deeply embarrassed when people would look at my coat size label out of curiosity and see that I wore children's clothes. It felt humiliating, but over time I started to care about that less. I don't know, it's a weird mix of emotions. Story 3. First lesson in human interaction. You are always communicating. Silence is a form of communication. Second lesson. Dress is a form of communication. You are saying something about yourself, about how you value the occasion, and what first impression you want others to have. At times, it says something about the respect you want to show others. Dressing can also be a power move. Third lesson. This is the part of the first impression you can completely shape. So think about it when you leave the house or receive guests. Women like all kinds of guys, but you will find few who like dirt and odor or anything that screams, I do not care about you, I just care about me. Story 4. Here's the part nobody wants to acknowledge. Sure, you can dress how you like. You can dress in cargo shorts, Pokemon shirts, and a fedora if it feels comfortable to you, but you have to be willing to deal with the social consequences of that. There is a lot of, who cares what anyone thinks? Yeah, sure, but guess what? First impressions and appearance matter. They will always matter. People will judge your maturity, cleanliness, and status based on how you present yourself. We don't live in utopia, and we can't see inside each other's brains at a distance for personalities. Platitudes will only get you so far, friend. I'm not telling you to bow to all society's whims and standards, but to be ready to deal with the consequences as they come. I'm in my 30s now. Dressing like a 10-year-old isn't going to help me out in any way. Story 5. My confidence and people's respect towards me skyrocketed when I started buying nicer clothes and cared about the way I looked. I compare myself to my Italian side in Italy, and the culture around clothes is night and day. My friends who don't care about dressing nicely will try to bring me down by saying it's a waste of money, But guess who gets noticed right away or gets better service? You don't need to look like a jerk to look good. There's an Italian term called sprezzatura, which means effortless, and it refers to looking casual yet stylish and intriguing without seeming like you tried hard. Any guy that reads this, if you want to look incredible without looking like you're trying too hard, go after Italian style, especially during the summer months. Additionally, spend a few extra dollars on linen shirts, pants, and one nice quality pair of brown tassel loafers. Another note, get your pants tailored or at least hemmed to the right length. In the summer, the pants should be kissing the top of the ankle, and if you wear loafers, wear socks that are hidden and don't show. For guys who like suits or blazers, a light beige or light blue linen suit is amazing in the summer with some Clubmaster sunglasses and brown loafers and a striped white t-shirt. For the younger crowd, change the loafers for your favorite pair of white sneakers, and you'll look energetic. Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zones, but it will pay off. Story 6. Dressing well is important, but the definition of dressing well should be what you think looks good and is comfortable on you, not what others think. If you're comfortable in your clothes, you can easily look more confident in whatever you wear. Story 7. This may not be the right way, but I took dress for the job you want and applied it to my life. I'm attracted to active, healthy women, so I maintain an active, healthy lifestyle. I've nothing against jeans and a t-shirt, but I save them for super casual times. Heading to a friend's to play video games. Heading back and forth to work, I want to be taken more seriously, and despite having a uniform I have to change into at work, when you arrive and depart in nice slacks and a nice shirt, I feel nicer than showing up in jeans, and people take me more seriously because they do notice how I commute, even if I wear a uniform during work hours. Also, I like the way I look in nicer jeans and nicer shirts, which impacts my confidence and makes me smile more and be more comfortable. I just sort of grew into feeling more comfortable in nicer clothes. At first, it was awkward, but wear it long enough, and it just starts to feel right. Story 8. Cleanliness is important. Imagine you have to use a restroom at your friend's house and it isn't clean. Will you judge it or not? The same logic applies here. One needs to dress up well, as people will judge you to a certain extent. Story 9. I want to wear dangly earrings, floral patterns, and paint my nails, but I don't have the courage. I understand why women say they wear things for themselves and not just to attract attention. I wish I could do the same. I'm jealous of women's fashion with your fancy bags, shoes, and accessories. Story 10. There was this great thing in the New York Times last week about how different societal understanding of what fashion is now compared to in the past. Definitely worth reading. If you like dressing nicer, then go for it. Just make sure your clothes fit well. That's the big trade-off with having a wardrobe with pieces like slacks, chinos, button-up shirts, etc. If they don't fit right, the worse it looks. When you are dressing more casually with t-shirts and jeans, you get more leeway with what looks good. Also, consider what you're wearing. I've seen guys dress way more presentably wearing Vans, a nice-fitting basic tee, and jeans than someone who is wearing chinos, a shirt, and a tie. Also, if something isn't comfortable, you may not be wearing something that fits properly. Regarding women, yes, dressing nicer will probably be a plus for meeting women, but don't confuse that with it being the thing you think will put you a step above someone else. No one likes a guy who mistakes dressing nicely for having a personality. I have a couple of clients I work with who I know I can show up for a job in a basic tee and shorts, and they don't mind one bit. But for some of my other clients, I know that presenting is a big thing for them, so I have to keep that in mind when I see them for work. It's not about balancing what society thinks I should wear, more how will wearing X compared to Y benefit me today? Of course, you can wear whatever and not care. People dress in different unique ways all the time, but you do have to own it, and your wardrobe should reflect that. If you're giving your client 100% of yourself to a job and you dress like you just got out of bed, they have to see that in the results. If you want to present yourself as professional and competent, you have to be that too. Don't worry about the 90% of people. They're not in the mirror when you're getting ready, only you are, so focus on that one guy in the mirror instead of everyone else. I hope this was helpful. Story 11. Experimenting with different styles is something almost every person on the planet goes through at one point or another. In your teens and early 20s, you're wearing what your friends wear. In your late 20s and early 30s, you're wearing more adult-type clothing but incorporate a little of your own style into it, adding different styles until you find something you like and that women notice. In your late 30s and early 40s, you'll begin to have either totally separate work, leisure, and going out wardrobes, or you'll just stick to what you wear to work, except on weekends. In your late 40s, you get back to basics, and when you dress up, you go all out and dress to the nines, hitting the silver fox phase. You'll discover the classic looks that never really went out of style, without looking like an old man trying to be young. I was always the starched jeans and button-downs with boots and a buckle, Texas and Oklahoma type guy, and still am, but I've finally started picking comfort over that when it comes to work. Jeans, casual boots or chukkas, and polos or button-downs for work and most other times. Story 12. There's a massive difference between defining looking nice and dressing comfortably, and the two are absolutely not mutually exclusive. If anything, men's fashion has become much more about looking good while being comfortable than it ever has been. Formal attire has largely remained the same, with slacks, formal shirts, ties, suits, and similar clothing, but there are a million ways to look good while staying comfortable. Just saying jeans, t-shirt, and sneakers is really nondescript. When you say that, I picture bootcut medium wash jeans, a graphic tee that doesn't fit well, and Nike Monarch sneakers. However, if you're talking about dark wash, black, or light wash well-fitting jeans, a nice, well-fitting t-shirt, and some actually stylish runners like Nike Blazers or something similar, then it's a different ballgame. Try some joggers, put on a cardigan, and coordinate your color schemes. There are so many ways to look good while still dressing how you want to dress. Story 13. I don't care is not usually the message you want to convey as an adult. It's a slippery slope from, I don't care what other people think, to, I don't care about myself. Not caring can easily be perceived as hostile or depressing, and a lot of people aren't going to stick around to figure out which one you are. They will simply steer clear. Story 14. I don't think that's ever been an issue for me. I'm rather fashionable, and I like looking good. And now that it's hot, even at home it's likely that I wear a button-down linen shirt instead of a t-shirt, which makes it technically more formal, I guess, but it's just due to the lighter fabric and the looser fit. Story 15. I dress based on what I'm dressing for. Going to the mall, groceries, or running errands, I'll dress casually, which for me is shorts or jeans and a graphic t-shirt, and probably a sweater depending on the weather. If I'm going into work, it'll be a polo or a short or long sleeve dress shirt with nice pants. If I'm doing a presentation to executives, then I'll be in a suit or sports jacket, depending. Chilling with friends, I'll go with a look that's between casual and going to work. Personally, I like to dress up a bit, but it really depends on what we're doing. I find that dressing how I like goes further in boosting my own confidence. But it does depend on what or where I'm going. Story 16. As I've gotten older, my style has definitely started to change. I just started phasing out my graphic tees for plain t-shirts, v-necks, and a few collared shirts. You can look really nice without dressing up, and you can get nice tennis shoes that go with nicer outfits. And now it's just how I want to dress. I already make sure my clothes are comfortable, though, unless it's a wedding or an important work day. Story 17. I don't feel like society wants me to dress any particular way, but there are different places where you can take your cues. People on television or in fashion blogs dress semi-formal all the time, and the people I hang around in real life are deep into the athleisure aesthetic. I experiment with staples and find a middle ground between looking like an elitist tool and a polyester billboard. Story 18. I actually think khakis and button-downs to work make for easier morning decisions. I found a comfortable brand of slacks, and I wear them all the time. I do wear sneakers to work, and I don't care. If you think I'm a worse veterinarian because I don't wear a tie and nice shoes, then you're probably looking for the wrong things in a veterinarian. Story 19. I only dress nicely for work because I don't want to chase people away from the small business I work for. If I'm not at work, I look like a colorblind hippie skater. I don't care. Story 20. When I was single, dressing nicer helped me with self-esteem issues, so I got pretty comfortable doing so. That said, I hit it off with my now wife while wearing a one-piece romper for men at a music festival. I still like to dress nice, but I have someone who allows me to wear literally whatever I want. Story 21. I like to dress casually. I really want everyone to dress casually if they want, and I'm more or less actively trying to avoid situations that would require me to dress otherwise. Jobs that require business attire? No thanks. Dates and women that don't like me wearing my checkered shirts and sneakers? I'll pass. Events that assume a certain attire? I don't like to attend them much anyway. So far, it has worked out for me. I'm a 31-year-old man with a well-paid job, a long-term relationship, and a great social life. Story 22. Lady here. I love a man in a t-shirt and jeans, but if it's stained or looks like he found it in a dumpster, I don't love a man in a t-shirt and jeans. Men don't have to be dressed up to catch a woman's eye. Story 23. Don't waste your life trying to please other people. Obviously, if you have a job with a dress code, follow it, but on your own time, dress how you're comfortable and in a way that makes you feel good. Who cares how it makes anyone else feel? Wouldn't you rather attract someone who likes you for you and not some made-up version of you? Story 24. There are times I dress specifically to look cute, and other times I dress to be comfortable. But on the days I choose comfort, the clothes I pick are still somewhat cute. They're not pajamas and a bathrobe. Hope that makes sense. Story 25. Short answer. I do not care what people think about me. Detailed answer. I have always had a sense of fashion in relation to myself. I wear a lot of different clothing, from jeans to suits to kilts. I sold suits professionally for a few years as well. I love being dressed to the nines, but what I wear usually does not align with the main lines of fashion. I just wear what I like with a bit of confidence that it looks good and it works. The best advice I can give is to be confident. That is what sells what you wear. Story 26. Women like a guy who dresses well. This is how you find a partner with whom you can be comfortable. Advertise that you are a jeans and t-shirt guy, and you will be more likely to attract someone who is into that. This will save both of you some time,